welcome to Alphathoughts.
Lucky you.
It's a chance for you to eavesdrop on the conversations Ruth and I have.
Yeah, so you're going to learn to love the 4 Ps, and you're going to learn to learn them.
So stay tuned, and we're about to get into it.
We're going to drop some wisdom.
Bye. Okay, so our topic today is going to be loyalty.
Yeah.
We've been seeing a lot of links and people talking and research about like what's going on in the loyalty space and
Yeah, and I think we have a number now.
Yeah.
Companies are losing $1 trillion a year.
Is that Anderson Consulting or something? Yeah.
Yeah, because they just can't believe that customer loyalty is done differently and keep throwing the same antiquated ways of creating loyalty programs at customers, and they're not listening to the consumer feedback. Consumers want loyalty programs that are relevant, or really they just want products and services that are relevant to them in the moment.
Yeah, and I think this feeds into our framework of the 4 Ps really. I think because what we see is a new behavior on the persona side of our process, which is like there's new kinds of consumers, right? And consumers really represent like cultural changes and how people, the things that we value. And so consumers want products that they feel are tailored to them. They want to work with companies they feel that care about them, right? And it really hits at the crux of like the problem or challenge of loyalty today, which is that like when brands think about loyalty, it's highly transactional. It's like, how much are you worth to me? How much have you spent with me? Consumers think about purely relationally, like how much do you care about me? How good of a fit are you, right? And I think like we see this as a problem now, like where these two forces are colliding, and it's suddenly like, whoa, maybe we need to do something different.
Yeah, so the new persona is that a customer is looking for the most relevant product or service in their life in that moment. They're really being present, not thinking as much long-term about, long-term, should I get this product over that product? They're thinking in the present moment of what do I have, what do I need today? And especially with all these technologies that can personalize, not just to the person, but to the moment, it starts becoming a customer expectation. So does that change any of the other of the 4 Ps?
So the 4 Ps are perspective, persona, process, and product. And I think ideally what customers want to see is that brands and companies make things that are better for them, not stamp a new sticker on something. And the way that those things get made, I think, is really important. Like, I'll give you an example of somebody I think who does a great job with this, right? Like Nike has started to introduce, for example, programs. Like it used to be purely transactional. Like you buy things, we sort of know you exist, we send you coupons, right, or discounts. It then went to like Nike Fit and like tracking your activity and other things like that. And now they have like, I think it's called Nike Unlocked. But what they're doing is they actually reward you with like free songs and music as you engage in the lifestyle. And what that really is that I'm going to buy a pair of Nike shoes today, and then I'm going to run with them every day for the next year. And from the consumer's point of view, like me as a consumer, I'm like, I love my Nike products. I'm using them all the time. Like I feel like I'm engaged. I'm a part of the story you told, but I don't get recognized for being part of that story except for when I swipe my credit card. And Nike's starting to extend that into other parts of the ecosystem and our lifestyle to sort of say like, hey, we see you now. Like I get it and I can reward it.
I think another way that companies can respond to this persona of relevance, convenience, is by making their loyalty program about being a resource. So one company that does that really well is Sephora. And so Sephora will act as a resource and give people the ability to try different makeups or scents, and they'll do that in a way that is relevant to that customer in the moment. And they still use some kind of more old school tactics of points, but they do that by also being a go-to place, so they're not just depending on some of the old strategies.
Yeah, and like who's doing a poor job? I'd still say it's the classic punching bag. Everyone wants to beat up on United. I'll do it again, right? Like, their programs have gotten like cheaper and cheaper, less rewarding to the consumer. They're sort of making more and more of the choices that we're used to harder to access. There isn't a lot of sort of attempt at sort of integrating more into my life other than purely transactional. Like, oh, do you want to use your miles to buy like hotels? Do you want to do these things? Like, I get that, except like I fly you every week. What else is part of that process, right? And so I think that's where you see like how some brands have like these hardened loyalty systems, for example, and I think they actually cause them to act in very, very malevolent ways, like relative to their consumers.
Right. So back to that relevancy in the moment. If a consumer doesn't feel that they're getting the benefits of the loyalty in near term, they're not going to wait till the end of the year.
That's right.
To get something.
That's right.
Back for their loyalty.
And it's also like, and then these loyalty programs tend to like rob people. It's like, wait, you want 500 miles for a drink? It's like, maybe screw you, right? Like, I know, like that, like just give me a drink.
There's like thousands of other places I can go to get a drink.
Yeah, right. So Ruth's mom just called. So, but let's recap the 4 Ps real quick. All right. So I think like from a loyalty point of view, think about the perspective change. It's really that. Customers don't value loyalty nearly as much as they did before, and so building businesses optimized around long-term recurring relationships with customers is harder and harder to achieve. How about personas?
I think for personas, we have customers who are increasingly expecting customization, relevancy, who want to make decisions for what's right in the present moment versus thinking as much long-term about what's going to save them money. I think we're living in a very present world where things are changing quickly, and so people don't want to miss out on today.
Yeah. From a process point of view, I think we really need to change the way that we build our business, our products. We need to integrate more data sources into the process. We need to get more information for us to be able to create more relevant products. And then what about that product layer?
I think for product, companies are fortunate today that we have so many AI technologies where you can integrate the customer data into the product. And I think it's important to point out that having a siloed loyalty team is no longer going to suffice today. Customers are expecting that customization, personalization, and relevancy in real time be integrated into the product. So
I even like that in the process part too, like just changing the way the org is set up so that loyalty is not a thing that like a couple of people think about, right?
Right. So don't send them to the loyalty department or sign up for our loyalty program. See how you can integrate it into the entire product.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone. We'll be back with more later.
Yeah, thank you.